Hi, this is Kim from Solot, and today we're going to be doing the Kona block of the month, number 8. It looks like this. It's a nice, pretty, bright block with yellows and greens. Let's start by taking a look at the colors and seeing which is which to help you out there. Okay, so there's our block. So the first color we're going to use is A, and that is pea pod. And pea pod, you should have 4 triangles cut. Next color is B. This is acid lime. You see it's very bright, but it's a green, not a yellow. So that's B. And you should have 2 triangles cut from that. The next one is C, cactus. Not quite as yellow as the other one. And you should have 2 triangles of that one. Then we have D, key lime. You almost can't tell the difference. Key lime D, and you'll have 2 triangles of that one. E is chartreuse, 2 triangles there. Okay, now for the yellows. F is bright idea, very bright, and it's kind of the paler of the 4 yellows. G is citrus, H canary, and I is duckling, and then J is white. There, you can kind of tell the difference between them. If you have any problems telling which one is which, you can come into the store and look at them. Give me a call. I can try to help you. But hopefully, this will help you. For the first section, we are going to start with the A's, pea pod, and the J's. Okay, so you're going to use the 4 of each of those, and these others we will come back to. So what we're going to do first with these 2 is we're going to place them to make half square triangles. And just sew the 2 long edges together and press it towards the darker side. Okay, so I'm going to take these to the iron and I'm going to press it towards the dark side. Okay, so I have 4 half square triangles that should measure 4.5 inches. So we're going to check that next. I just like to square them up before I go on so I can keep up with that. Make sure everything stays the right size. So there's just barely anything to trim off. So you want to make sure that you don't get your seam allowance too large, else it will be too small. Okay, so our first half square triangles measure at 4.5. 4 identicals. These will turn to be the corners of our block. So we'll just set these to the side. And we'll go to the next part of step 1. So on our instructions here, you're going to notice that you're going to take the rest of the 16 triangles and we're going to put them in the combinations that are shown. So we already did the A and J, make 4. All of the others we're going to make 1, like B and J. So these first ones will all have white at the bottom, and then it goes into mixing them over here. So if we put these combinations together, we're going to start with B and a white. Well, I'm going to keep the marked one. So that'll be B. And the one that we're not using, I'm going to set to the side. And then we're going to go C, C, and J. And we've got D. The next one is E. So I'm just stacking these so I can go to the sewing machine and just sew them right in order. Okay, so these are all the matched ones with white. Actually A or B through I, and these are just can go right to the machine and be sewn together right along the long edge like we did with the first half square triangles. Then we get down here to the blue boxes, and the first one we're going to take B will go across the top and I across the bottom. So B and I, and then we'll sew along the long edge. Then we've got C and G and D and H and E and F. And that should take care of all of your triangles. So it's a matter of sewing along the long edge, pressing towards the dark, and then opening it up, and you'll have a half square triangles. Okay, so I'm going to press these towards the darker side. Okay, let's make sure they're the right size. Okay, so we just squared up all of our half square triangles. They're 4.5 inches and looking good. So now what we're going to do is the next step is to lay out our block and start to sew it together. So I'm going to start with the corners, one in each corner, with the green pointing out the corner. In between the corners, let's do that one first. This is where leaving on the color, the numbers helps a little bit, which some of mine all lost theirs during pressing. So C and G, let's do the center first. We'll have C and G in the lower right-hand corner of the center. B and I are going to go above it. D and H goes to the left on the bottom. And E and F in the top left-hand corner. You'll notice that the center blocks are all the green ones, and the outside triangles are the yellow ones. And having at least these marked will help us place these other ones. So down here, H and J is going right across the bottom there. Okay, that one is F and J, and F is going to go across here. See, the yellows are going to make a point, a flying goose, all the way around. And this one is I and J, and I will be across the top. So you can see your triangle there. And if we find G will be pointing up down here in the right corner. And H is pointing to the right. Now, our other pieces, let's see, we have E, and E is going up here on top. Can you kind of see the pattern there in the corner? B, let's do B. One's B, and B is going to go right here next to I. And C will go down here below G. And D goes down here. So if we pull these out, each of the 4 squares that make up the big block has 2 colors in it, plus the A. So this one has the I making the big triangle, and B splitting up the rest of it. You'll see here it's G and it has C with A. This one has H and D and F with E. So to put these together, we're going to put it together by the row, just going straight across 4 times, just like we've done on all the others. And that should be pretty easy. So I'm going to start right here and right there. Now this one, I prefer not to start on the seam there. So I'm going to flip it over and start at the other end of where I need to sew. Well, that one goes there. Remember that A is always in the corner. Okay, and that will be our top row. And now we'll do the same thing for the second. And the yellow will go there. Hold on, that's not right. White goes to the outside. Okay, so here we have all the rows done. We're stitching them together or pressing them. You can, your choices of pressing to the side or open, either way. I usually go with pressing row 1 and 3 to the left and 2 and 4 to the right, and then nesting them together and sewing them. Okay, so we've got corners to line up here and points to line up here in the center. So I will start by lining those up first. Okay, and if we check these points, we want it to match up there. And the center, oh, I'm off a little bit. Might go back and try and fix that. And right here and on the ends. So it looks like I need to fix this one and this one. What I'm going to do is just take out some stitches before and after and try to slide it over. Okay, so there's our top row. Okay, let's look at these bottom 2 rows. It's pretty good. Okay, this is a little bit far apart, but if I take another stitch across there, I bet I can get them closer. Okay, that's better. That one. Okay, we're going to go back to the center. Now this time there'll be 2 points on this side and this side. Okay. And there we have it. All right, so there's block number 8 for August. Block number 8. I hope you enjoy. It's a nice, bright and sunny block. Turn in next month. We'll have block 9. Thanks. Bye.